Hello, Matt Toms here with another OneChart lesson. Today we're doing an instrumental piece called Benny's Waltz. This was originally an ukulele piece taught to me by a man called Benny Chong at a clinic in Sydney some years back. He taught it on ukulele, but it works equally as well on guitar. So I'm doing a video lesson for both of these pieces, or for both of the arrangements. On the guitar, we're using only the top 4 strings, so only strings 1, 2, 3 and 4. Otherwise known as E, B, G and D strings. And throughout the song we're keeping the E and the A strings completely muffled. We don't want to hear them at all. It's a waltz, so it's in 3/4 time. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Our chords are what is the top 4 strings of a G chord. So that's a G chord. We're using only the first 4 strings, so we've got open D, open G, open B, 3rd fret E string. So that's our G. Our D7 is the next chord. So open D, 2nd fret G, 1st fret B, 2nd fret E. Then we lift our finger off that E string and create a D7 sus2. So that 2 refers to that E note that we've now added to the D7 chord. The E is the 2nd degree of the D major scale. So that's what that 2 signifies. So that's a D7 sus2. G, D7, D7 sus2. The other positions we're using is simply moving the note on the E string up and down that E string. So, the piece is divided into 4 parts. Part A and B both use this finger picking pattern, which I'll show you now. It's using thumb on both the D and the G string, so we're alternating, and you'll see why in a moment. And then your E string and your B string will be taken by your first 2 fingers. We're picking the G and the E strings simultaneously. So the E string is on the 3rd fret, picking the G and E with our thumb and 2nd finger. Then we're picking the D and the B strings together twice with our thumb and our 1st finger. So if we do that pattern, you'll see that your thumb starts to get this rhythm going, and that is an essential rhythm and feel to keep you going throughout this first 2 sections. So first bar is that G, then a D7, same picking pattern. Back to G, D7, back to G, D7. Then we move to a G and we pick E string, D string, B string, G string. Again using the same 4 fingers. So 2nd finger, thumb, 1st finger, thumb. I'll play that intro through one time. 1, 2, 3. That is part A. Moving on to part B, we're using the same picking pattern, but now our chord position changes and we move our finger. You can use any finger you want, but I tend to use my 3rd finger at least for this first position. So we go up to the 10th fret and you do the same picking pattern again for 1 bar. Then we move down to the 7th fret. Again, you can slide the same finger down or you can use a different finger. It's your choice. Down to the 7th fret and do the same thing. Next bar, down to the 5th fret. Then down to the 3rd fret. Then to the D7, same picking pattern. Then D7 sus2. Back to D7, sus2. do the whole thing again, up to 10, 7, 5, 3, D7, sus2, back to G, and finish it the same way as we finished the intro. Okay, now we're on to part C. This is where it starts to get a little bit interesting because we are moving through the exact same positions as we did in part B, but our picking pattern changes. Now our picking pattern, and again thumb on the D and G strings, and first and second fingers on the second and first strings. So now we're going G string, B string, D string, E string, D string, B string. So I'll do that again. G, B strings, D, E strings, D, B strings. So it's a 6-note pattern now. We're doing quavers instead of crotchets that we did before. So we're going So the thing that kind of gets a little bit tricky about this is that note that was leading before, your note on the E string that moves around, that's not our leading note anymore. It comes halfway through that bar, each pattern. So it sounds a little different. It takes a little bit of concentration to keep that going, but what you do is you spend a little bit of time getting that pattern, even without any notes on, getting that pattern right with your right hand, with your strumming hand, if you're left-handed. So that's what it sounds like just with open strings. So you're going G, B, D, E, D, B. Or using the string numbers 3, 2, 4, 1, 4, 2. 3, 2, 4, 1, 4, 2. And you want to get that dun 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 dun. That's your pattern. And again you'll hear that thumb going. Then we put our notes on and it sounds like this. I'll go slowly, first time through, and then the second time through when we end the same way on the G, you're going to hear it speed up a little bit. So, 10th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret, D7, D7 sus2, D7, sus2, back up to the 7th, back up to the 10th fret, and finish on that G using the exact same pattern. Once more through that section. Take some time on that section. It's the trickiest part. The key is to get your right hand moving automatically. So you're not thinking too much about that picking pattern. If you start to think too much about that picking pattern, you can trip yourself up a little bit. So try and get it so it's automatic in your right hand. Part D, same chords again, but now we're strumming. And you can do any kind of strumming you want here. We'll start off with a simple 1 strum per bar. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The second time through on your chart, I've put a little example strumming pattern. You can do anything you want, but what I've done is a crotchet strum on the first beat, then a pair of quavers on the second and a pair of quavers on the third. So what that sounds like is 1, 2, and 3 and 1, 2, and 3 and. G again. Or you can finish in that picking way. You can do whatever strumming, like I said, you can do whatever strumming you want there. Okay, so now we're going to play it from top to bottom, starting with our G chord for the intro, part A. 1, 2, I'll give you a count of 6 to come in, so 2-bar counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next pattern. There you go. I hope you found that helpful and fun to play. Please come back to the OneChart website. We're adding charts all the time. Have a look at the ukulele. If you're a ukulele player, have a look at the ukulele version of this song. It's really a lovely piece to play on both ukulele and guitar. One thing I will mention is that you've noticed me perhaps using my thumb to mute those E and A strings throughout that song. That's a helpful thing to be able to do. Obviously, you're using your thumb when you're picking, so part of your hand can actually cover those strings if you need to when you're using your thumb for the picking. But using your hand and using your palm and your thumb and different parts of your hand to mute those strings that you don't want to hear is a very useful technique to start to develop. And this is a good piece to begin thinking about those kind of techniques with. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.